welcome back to another episode of the TB&J podcast. With me today is Troy Brittingham.
I'm Troy Brittingham.
You are Troy Brittingham. I am Jeff Ackerman. Dee is with us today, as always.
You.
And Dee's lovely wife has joined us for a bit here. We all just got back from watching Deadpool.
Yeah, you don't get an
Wolverine.
intro.
That was very Republican of you.
JD Vance 2024. We just got back from watching Deadpool.
Just him.
Deadpool
Only
3,
him.
a.k.a. Deadpool and Wolverine. We are just going to jump right into this motherfucker. TB&J! 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 All right, so if you don't know about this movie yet, you've been living under a fucking rock because Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds have been parading their handsome asses all over everything
And who do they
under
play?
the sun. Ryan Reynolds obviously plays Deadpool. Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. If you didn't know that, you've been living under a rock. They were on Hot Ones today. They hosted Jimmy Kimmel last night together. They have been all over. They've released 40 million trailers for this fucking
It
movie.
says if they're showers and not growers. That's they. I think this is a foreshadow.
Yeah, this movie.
They released their porno yesterday. That just dropped.
Oh,
Time.
nice, nice.
It's all
Time.
gay.
Is that
all
also
gay,
on Disney Plus?
All gay, all 69, all the time. It's just
Ooh.
it's like a
It's
perfect
on like
circle.
it's on Disney Plus, but now they added the Hulu section, so you have to go to that. That
I
way
see.
kids don't stumble on it.
I
know?
see. All right. But yeah, they've been marketing the fuck out of this movie, and they are really hyping it up to be the biggest movie of the summer. Which
and
is,
now I get why.
Yeah, now I get why. Before I guess we can go into the thumbs
Spoiler
up.
alert?
Yeah, no. I mean, this is
Well-
going to be a full spoiler discussion of the movie. We are going to talk about all of it, all the warts and the good stuff, if we can find much. Troy, thumbs up, thumbs down.
I'm gonna go thumbs up because I know about the storm that's coming.
That's totally fair. D, how you feeling on this movie?
It's it's a thumbs down. It's a thumbs down.
Is it?
So hard.
Oh
down.
my goodness! Oh, I had no idea. I've only been hanging out with you for the last like 3
He was
hours.
so against it, he turned into Porky Pig.
Thumbs down, y'all. How are you feeling about it, miss?
It actually crushed my soul, and that's actually not hyperbole.
So I was very surprised.
And that's
about
not
this.
easy to do. Trust me, I've tried.
Oh yeah, you've been married for 1,000,000 years. Because D is a biblical creature. They've been married for 1,000,000 years.
Interesting.
I was very surprised to hear that from D because this movie, all of it, 100%, beginning to end, is basically a big old fan servicey. I want to say love letter, but it's not quite that. But just like a big old fan service, like, hey, you got your guys together. Here we are at a big budget movie. Here you go. This is what you wanted, right? And I feel like they just kept.
Yeah, it's a soulless. It's
a money grab.
But you know how they joked about this. Oh, I know who joked about this. The guy who does that. So you got a movie for me? Like
Brian George.
pitch meeting, right?
Or
Yeah,
Ryan
he did the
George.
joke about the Spider-Man movie, which I did like. Right, it has all the cameos, it has all the things, and it's one person walking into the room after another,
Sure.
being like, oh my gosh, but that was a good movie.
Yeah,
that was
Yeah.
a great. I enjoyed the movie. I've watched it again.
You're talking about No Way Home,
Spider-Man
correct?
No Way Home.
Yeah, the one that he was not talking about last time
That you thought he was
Thought he
talking
was.
about.
Correct.
Yes.
Right. But that I think was good. It was rewatchable. It was a good. The storyline made sense. It was all good within itself. This was not that. This when in pitch meeting when he's joking about that, they call it like it's gonna be a love letter to the Spider-Man franchise. And he's like, or a cash grab for like, yada yada. He's like, let's go with the first one. He's like, are you sure? And it's like this is there. That's the difference. Like that was, I think, good in this. This was soulless.
There definitely did not seem to be a lot of point to it other than to have Deadpool and Wolverine get a team-up movie, because at the end of this movie, the consequences are basically nothing. Like, Wolverine is... There is now a Wolverine from a different timeline where all of the X-Men are murdered by humans which, first of all, taking the unbelievability of that outcome out of the equation entirely, this is just a Wolverine who's just completely depressed.
I forget, what are Jean Grey's powers again?
Literally anything. It depends on who's writing.
Interesting, gotcha.
She can do literally anything, and she got murdered by a bunch of humans, apparently. Okay. Cool. Love that for her. And Logan blames himself because he was out drunk at a bar, and after they asked him to come back and stay.
Same. What I literally walked out of the theater and said, was this written by AI? I watched it, and it was the same joke repeated, the same two jokes, being overly crude and cursing because it's rated R in Disney, which literally stopped being fun after the first 5 minutes.
No, there were way too many fucks in this movie. Way too many. Like there was just unnecessary. Like it wasn't.
And it's
good
this is coming
at all.
from D.
And I was gonna say, we live in Philadelphia, where a filler word when you're speaking is
fuck.
fucking or fuck. Like when you're like, oh, that
fucking
fucking
Wawa.
the fucking corner store, yeah. Like that stuff. We are from Philadelphia. We definitely know.
And I'm sure they used there was a ton of takes, and I'm sure I don't know, maybe Hugh just phoned it in or embraced it too much and didn't have a thing on it. But we were also saying he felt flat as well.
Yeah, the Wolverine performance was not exactly what I was expecting from seeing Wolverine. That said, my wife had the point before the podcast started of, well, he's not the Wolverine you want. He's the Wolverine from this terrible universe where everyone died and he blames himself and he wears the yellow suit because it's all he remembers him by and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's fine, but I didn't really believe Hugh Jackman wanted to be there sometimes.
I've seen him in pain before, and this was less pain.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It's not about that. It's about the acting and the performance.
Right. I know what Hugh
It's not
Jackman's
about the
capable of
character.
because I've seen him for the last 20 years playing Wolverine on screen. And even then, it's like two different Wolverines depending on the fucking universes.
Oh, sure. There's at least
two.
5.
Yeah. I feel like we could have gotten more.
The other thing about this was that the fourth wall breaking was relentless.
Oh,
yeah. There was not a moment of this movie because the plot itself is based on the concept of him knowing Hugh Jackman and Wolverine. I don't even know if is that I don't even understand how this works. Like the fact that he knows about it's just so silly.
Troy's about to tell us.
So this is kind of what I took away from it. I am not a Deadpool fan. Before the first movie, did not like Deadpool. Thought that he's the most annoying comic book character of all time. And
I was in the same boat. My only exposure was annoying cosplayers.
And then the first movie hit, and I was like, well, this is about to be the most annoying fucking trash in the world. And I watched it, and I went, that was actually really good.
Yeah.
And suddenly I was kind of back on board of not even back on board, on the board for the first time.
You bought your first ticket.
I bought
to
my
the
ticket,
boat.
yeah. And was like, okay, this is good. And I feel like I'm in the minority on this. A lot of people don't like this. I like the second one more, even.
We literally said this earlier.
We both agree with you that the second
Deadpool 2 is better than
Both,
Deadpool 1.
both versions, actually. I think the Once Upon a Deadpool with
Sure.
Fred Savage.
Fred Savage.
With Fred Savage. I love that's a joke a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I could watch it with my kid when he was younger. That was funny and Cable looked awesome. I don't know. They were going for Greg Land. I feel like versions of shots in this. Greg Land's an artist in the who did a lot of Wolverine covers, obviously.
Oh, I thought it was a theme park
X-Men
that
artist,
made by a man named Greg.
Land. Yeah. From Greg Land, yeah.
It's all Greg-themed rides.
See that joke that I did, audience, and how it fell flat? That's how D felt every minute of this
every
fucking movie.
every joke that they tried to do. But that was a good movie, and I felt something for the kid, the whole Juggernaut, their cameos.
The kid gets
was
snuffed.
Juggernaut. It was all good. It was fun, even though it was cheesy. But this was not that. This looked weird.
I can't believe the kid's not in this movie, by the way. It's like, oh, here's all the people that you care about and all your friends, and he's just not there. And I'm like, okay. So.
Yeah, what the fuck? What was the point of Deadpool 2 then?
But
come on now.
But I was
Jeff,
gonna
you're
say,
criticizing a lot for someone who had a thumbs up right now because I think you're
well, I didn't
actually
say what I gave it.
Jeff, what would you give this?
It's still a thumbs up because I I went into this expecting a soulless cash grab, and I got delivered exactly what I was expecting. I did have some laughs. It was kind of enjoyable, and it seems more like a dumb popcorn movie than an actual installment in the Marvel universe.
That's what I was about to say. Was this is out of all three of them, the most like what I expected a Deadpool movie to be. So I feel like there's gonna be people who like it who are like Deadpool fans. I feel like if John was here, he'd like it.
I was gonna say I wish John Fitzwater could be here.
Yeah.
Longtime friend of the pod. He's the biggest Deadpool fan ever.
It does feel like as cartoonish as the as parts of these aspects of Deadpool have been in the comics. There was some like runs of Deadpool that I thought were better when he was attached more to the universe.
Sure.
That was going on. Essentially when he was tied into like the whole Harry Osborn or not Harry Norman Osborn taking over S.H.I.E.L.D. like story.
Yeah.
Like and he was like, oh yeah, he wants me off the table, like, so like he has to go. That was good because any of the stuff that when Deadpool has to be grounded is much better. Like there was an X-Force run with him in it, and like his crazy is like aside.
Yeah.
And it's barely and it's not even, and part of the storyline with him is like we're trusting you. We need you to, like, you can't be doing your crazy shtick here. Like it was literally in this is and I think the first movie was so much more grounded. This was just over the top. They did everything they wanted to. Everything was a music montage. Everything was thought it was way cooler.
Yeah.
There was breaks for laughs that didn't land. Like as much as the audience laughed, I remember at every joke that was in the previews.
Yeah.
Like, and not much else.
Well, I'd seen a good handful of the trailers. I knew what to expect from a lot of it. So like
There were recognition laughs. That was what this show.
It kind of did feel like that. And my initial thought of where the plot might be going, because Deadpool gets taken by the Time Variance Authority, and they're like, "Hey, your universe is dying," and like because the fucking anchor person died, which is so fucking stupid.
It's so I can't.
I hit a nerve.
I watched the Loki movie or television
TV series. Yeah.
None of this tracked. It was the opposite of what it was.
Yeah, it seems so bullshit.
Everything was made up for this moment. This movie gave me an existential crisis for how bad things feel when there's no value to it.
Yeah.
And there was no value to this. There was no work ethic. There was no, I'm telling you, if you get what you want without the human qualities, it makes you feel worse. This movie, I left feeling worse about life. And I paid money. I'm not. This isn't the gin talking. I promise. I literally.
She was 100% saying this before we.
I know.
Like, and I felt like I get it. Like we have go listen to the podcast after like episode 5 or something of the boys season. I am depressed.
Yeah.
for similar reasons or whatever, but like whatever.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And like they
that is how she felt. Like,
yeah. And when I sat down and I start watching the TVA talk to Deadpool about this, and they're like, "You've been chosen," I was like, "Oh shit, are they gonna do Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe? Like, is that their plot here?" And they had it. And then they're like, "No, we're just going to send you somewhere else and join the Avengers, and this universe is going to die."
Make sure you see Captain America, Harrison Ford Star Wars theme.
Yeah. Right?
I can't wait for not seeing that.
This may have they had the opportunity to bring people back in and like make it meaningful again, because that's the whole thing that's been lacking in this entire multiverse thing, is like there's no stakes.
Yeah.
You've named nothing that's ongoing or coming up or whatever. Nothing clear at all.
No.
Well, they did once, and they picked Jonathan Majors, so then they had to immediately not have him.
It's absolutely just this huge nothing burger, and it's like you could have tried to been like, okay, we're going to introduce some real things, right? Some real things. Listen, a Johnny Storm camp, like, yes, giving I don't know. This was literally a lot of like they were unable to hide a single thing in this. A single, like everything was spoiled outside. They had no surprises.
I did my best to turn on my internet blinders leading up to this so that I wouldn't get spoiled. I still heard about Chris Pratt and X-23. I heard about
Chris
X-23.
Chris Pratt was not in this movie.
Chris Evans. Excuse me. Captain
I was like,
America.
holy shit! I totally missed her.
Yeah, my bad.
I was like, I did go to the bathroom once.
No.
That's how literally I
Captain
care about it.
America, not Star-Lord. Actually, not Captain America. He was fucking Johnny Storm. But I get what they were trying to do here with like the death of the Fox universe, and they wanted to pull Deadpool out of it and put him into Disney. But they didn't want to, like, I guess, outright say that. They wanted to try to allude to it very heavy-handedly. They did everything except spell it out. But then the movie ends with the universe being saved anyway.
I didn't realize. I understood that in the trailer you kind of saw like the Fox set piece. But you could piece it together. That's what it was. I thought that might just be in the background somewhere, and like it's not. It was a set piece. Like that was like their set piece.
Yeah.
The entire
a pretty
movie
big one too.
This was essentially Space Jam 2. This was Space Jam 2.
I would say it's that. Space Jam 2 is so
Shazam 2.
bad.
Algae Rhythm needs to make an appearance.
Oh, Space Jam 2 is soul crushing. I mean, you guys think it's still soul crushing. So
Can we talk about what is the best part of this movie? Because I'm struggling.
So the best
What is the best part?
The best part of this movie,
It's watching Captain America at the end.
watching Chris Evans go off and say a bunch of really terrible stuff, because Disney would never let him say that, but now he can because Deadpool. That was enjoyable, but that was an after credit scene. I enjoyed watching the fights, but like it felt like every lead up to the fight was forced. It didn't feel supernaturally occurring. Like obviously Deadpool has a mouth and he goes off, and obviously Wolverine has a very short temper. That's kind of their whole shticks.
Yeah.
So you put them together, fire and gasoline, you get what you get. But like, I don't know, man.
No, so I think I feel the same way you do about this movie, where we both gave thumbs up, but I think they're very surface level thumbs up. Of it's like, it's Deadpool. They're
it's
telling
the same
jokes.
thumbs
they're
up
doing
I would
things.
give Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, I liked that they gave Channing Tatum a chance to be Gambit finally, but it's like I like the idea of it more than I think I like it.
Yeah, but like I'm not going to give every Fast and Furious a thumbs up just because like it's whatever. Like,
No,
I know I wouldn't have given like the last one. I have not seen yet, but I'm confident I'm not going to like they continuously.
You don't like that they're all agents for the
actually,
government now?
Yeah. No.
Or something?
Oh no, there was plenty of movies. There was like 5 or like.
Yeah, that was Fast 5.
Oh my god.
The movies 5 and 6 are like, I know they're good. They're fun.
5, 6, and 7 are probably
But
the best.
there are popcorn
Eight's
movies
pretty
that are
good.
fun. This is not one of
No.
them. It's there's nothing to go back to and watch again. There's nothing to like. There's nothing like so bad it's good. It's a nothing burger for that was. That really did kind of, I don't know, dampen my view of like both the series. I'm like, you don't need to do any of this.
No, you don't.
And you definitely don't need to try to make it like. You had to know this is gonna. I feel like it's gonna build more ill will towards the Marvel franchise than anything else.
It very well might.
This might be the end of Marvel. I'm not even kidding you.
It's
I
certainly
don't-
been on a decline.
Of course it has been for like
For
4 or
ever
5
since
years.
the end of the Avengers,
Exactly.
when they started introducing multiverse shit.
Things need to die when they should, like MySpace. I'm gonna be honest. MySpace was the pinnacle of social
MySpace still
media.
exists.
Sure.
but doesn't.
But it doesn't. This is gonna be this is the end of Marvel. We're not doing this. D is the person who loves Marvel and is invested the most that I've ever met.
That's why I was so surprised he was so down on it, because I know D's been reading comics since he could read.
Yep,
and he's
exactly.
he's been a Marvel fanboy since day one. I really thought he would come away with like some nugget of this was okay,
It was
rather
empty.
than it was garbage.
It was empty.
Yeah.
It was empty on a level. It literally felt like watching a MySpace, like a Facebook ad. Like it felt like where you're like, oh, this looks like a cool device. Oh wait, I don't actually need
No,
that.
yeah.
Like none of the jokes landed. I didn't laugh once. I'm just saying I haven't left a movie that made me think about the dying decay of end stage capitalism more than this movie.
Can you do me a favor? Watch what's the fuck? Disney Pixar's Wish at some point.
Oh, Wish is so gross.
That is this movie, but so fucking dull with no color in it in a Pixar movie.
So why did you give this a thumbs up? I need to ask this. I need to ask this because I love both of you.
No, it's
intrinsically like you are family.
Totally
why
fine.
would you give this movie a thumbs up?
I enjoyed watching the fights happen. I enjoyed all of the dumb stuff that was like, this is ridiculous that there's 100 different Deadpools. And then like the cameos hidden in the 100 Deadpools, like the fucking cowboy Deadpool, that's Matthew McConaughey. And it's like, I was like, all right, that's kind of stupid, but like also, I get it. It made me chuckle.
And like, you want to own that.
I mean, sure, yeah, I enjoyed it.
But like, I mean, like, I mean, like, on a level of, like, things that you own, like, you look around the room and you say, like...
It's
like,
funny
here's
you
some
say
things
that.
I
own the Fast and Furious 8 movie collection on my shelf.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess he's just going to buy that.
No, you'll die on that hill. I'm going to...
I also loved The Batman, and I've seen it 7
The
times.
Batman was way better than this
I've seen
movie.
it 7
And I
times.
hated
It's a
that
3-hour movie.
I hated
That's
that movie.
a full day of my life.
I hated that movie. That movie was way better than what I just watched.
Yeah, you told me.
I'm going to go smoke a cigarette to end my life sooner.
Oh.
That's where this movie left me.
Okay.
That's my review.
Before you go there, I want to answer that too. I watched it sort of, it just kind of washed over me a little bit. Like I didn't have anything that made me hate it the way that you did, but I'm agreeing with you that I also didn't really like have anything that made me really love it. And I can't really point to a thing that's like, I can't point to a thing that's the best, but I really can't point to a thing that's the worst either. And as it kind of happened, I am very thumb sideways on this movie, but we never do that here. So when Jeff said thumbs up and you guys said thumbs down, I kind of knew that that's where I was putting it. I just wanted to.
So you're voting for JFK? For Robert?
Well, yeah, no, no.
You're an RFK
JFK.
support.
No, I'm
RFK
right.
Jr. Thank you
RFK
very
Jr.
much. RFK is
I get
dead.
it. So you're sideways.
Yeah.
Listen, this is what I'm saying though. This movie is give it 2 days. Wake up 2 days from now. If you're thinking about anything in this movie, you can keep it a thumbs up. This movie is wildly bad.
This movie, here's the thing. So of the cameos, the only ones that I really knew about were Chris Evans and X-23.
So interesting. I didn't know anything, so I'm wondering if that's
It might be. I will say I was very like excited and like, oh shit, that's fucking Blade and Elektra. I really thought they were just garbage by now that Fox like pretended didn't exist. And the fact they walked out, I was like, oh man, that's awesome. And my wife was like, who are these people? And I was like, oh yeah, right.
Blade walking out and Hugh Jackman putting the mask on were the only times my the corners of my mouth went upwards whilst I watched.
I know you're not.
This is not even hyperbole. I'm not being hyper. I cannot. That was the first Marvel Universe movie I saw in the theater. Blade is huge in anyone. Like, that is a great movie. He's a great actor. He was very believing. Like, why are we doing this? What is life? How are we here? I hope everyone listening gets that. Like, it's a bit sad. I'm a bit sad, and I need someone.
We have to find like a fucking really art housey movie about something like some very existential sort of thing made by some French guy in the Alps or whatever.
Yeah,
like
I want to throw my phone away right now. I want to throw my phone away. This movie, and listen, you got to hit rock bottom, right, to go up. I want to throw my phone away after watching this movie.
Okay. I mean, I your opinions are certainly valid, and I do understand all the negativity. You are in the vast majority so far. Every reviewer has given it at least a 7 out of 10. It's sitting at an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 4.6.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That surprises me. Maybe I do give it a thumbs down.
Tom's Guide is the harshest review I have found so far, and he gave it a 3.5 out of 5.
What's Rotten Tomatoes?
80%.
80.
It's
80% critics, and I don't know audience
That's
yet.
really bad.
That's compared to the shit we've been watching this year. That's awesome.
I'm telling you, time will make what I'm saying make sense.
Okay, so it's an 80% critic, 96% audience on Rotten Tomato.
That
Wait,
makes
wait,
Rotten
one
Tomato
more time,
rotten.
what was
Critics have it at an 80% Rotten Tomato, and audiences have it at 96.
Peace out.
96?
96 actually.
96 audience score
I feel
after
like 96
1,000
actually
plus
isn't that
verified
good
ratings.
for this.
Huh?
96.
How are you gonna say 96 isn't good?
What I mean, I guess what's the last Deadpool movie? Was it Deadpool 2?
Give me a
I
second.
mean, it's gonna be now, right? It's gonna be its reviews
Yeah.
now. It's gonna be like
It's
you
gonna
don't know
have
what, you don't know
dipped
what
down
it
into
was.
80s
It's
or
current.
something.
Deadpool 2 is currently sitting at an 85 audience,
I would have said 82.
84
I guess.
critic. Deadpool 1 is 85 critic, 90 audience. So this is better than the other two so far.
No.
And you know what's
Like,
funny?
I
The
don't-
one that you loved the most, Once Upon a Deadpool, is the lowest at 56
It's the
critic
best
and
one.
57 audience.
Everyone's wrong.
You seem to have the exact opposite opinions as the reviewers on Rotten
I
Tomatoes.
don't know. That's weird.
I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong by all means. No one's wrong. It's a fucking opinion-based podcast.
No, and I want to be very, very, very clear. I fully understand 100% what you
yeah,
guys are thinking.
you wanted more meat in this story, and it wasn't that. It just felt like a very flimsy excuse to have
Yeah.
two characters on screen that people have been wanting for years.
Yeah.
No, it's
and
all-
I think they just could have. First of all, can I just before I forget, okay, so Channing Tatum or Channing or whatever. I always forget. Also,
It's
we're very
Channing
serious.
Tatum.
Okay. I
Charging
heard that he
tantrum.
was going to be playing Gambit, and I was like, "What?" Listen, I like the actor in a lot of stuff.
He's a great
I
actor.
was just like he does like he's a good looking guy, but he's not Gambit. Gambit is just thinner. Like he's like
yeah, he came out and he
looks
looked
like a
buff.
like and that suit, that was the worst rendition of the costume I've ever seen.
It was. Oof.
He does look out of
Woof.
place next to everybody who's
Although-
everyone else looked better as whatever they were doing.
That is absolutely true.
70-year-old Wesley Snipes looked cooler.
I will say though, if you plucked Channing Tatum from this movie out and put him into like a 2008 Fox X-Men movie, I feel like he'd fit right in.
Well, I mean, the reason he's
No.
in this is
No.
because of the joke of every 2-3 years he shows up for the last 20 years and asks to be in a Gambit movie, and at one point tries to personally fund a Gambit movie.
I've heard of this.
So that's the reason he's in it. It's that
he
joke.
finally gets to be Gambit. Even
They
if it
could
is
have given him a
joke.
good costume. I honestly couldn't get past how bad that looked. When they have managed to make most every other guy, like I know they were going for comic accuracy, but like they did not put any heart into it. It looked like it was a plastic, like leather trench coat thing that was like, and he was so bulky, and it just looked, and his hair was like way wrong.
It feels like they put a trench coat over like
And-
a Halloween spirit like
It was
costume.
pretty cheesy. Like I have seen cosplayers have better outfit. I'm just like, you could have like actually made him look. What the hell was that?
Yeah.
Like,
Do you
there
think they
were-
could have fixed it if they did something to his eyes?
I
I feel
I'm
like that's a
saying
big
they
part.
already made him look way cooler, and they just maybe it was because Channing Tatum they couldn't make it work. Like maybe they just I don't know, but it was wrong. It was dumb, and it could have been cool, especially after all the X-Men 97 Gambit like awesomeness.
Right, the show that won me around
Like,
on Deadpool,
jeez.
on Gambit.
You may have just blown everybody out on that, so screw that. That was hard. That was hard to watch. Like, I mean, I even get the joke they were going for. That would have been fine. They could have had the same exact character thing, like the whole joke of him being mumbling Cajun, which would have been accurate. And don't get me wrong, I think Channing Tatum very well in the past could have done maybe the character. I think if he was still of an age that he could have like cut a ton of weight. I've seen him as like a thinner version of himself, like in one of the Quentin Tarantino movies, and he actually is like kind of a southern,
Hateful Eight. He's in,
Hateful Eight, and
which is kind of a spoiler.
sure, it's a 10-year-old movie
Yeah.
at this point. So
I was gonna
sure,
say,
I'm
like,
okay.
come on now.
So, but like that was the first movie where I was like, oh no, maybe he could do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just he's bad at it, and that sucks. And I get they were going for this joke, but it just looks so bad. Like because they were going for them to have actual moments by the end. They were going for how they all wanted to have their moment, like their final moment, and so they're. I think in all of the cases they were trying to go for give them each like a cool like sequence, and they try to do that with the Gambit character and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And
They were giving him some good fight
did
stuff.
They did it to all that, but no, it just looked really bad because of the choices on it. It really didn't sell me for most any of them. Like they weren't. It was a really cheesy battle sequence. I don't know. There was just there wasn't a moment in this movie where I was like, again, same things. Blade coming out, Wesley Snipes coming out is fun.
Oh, fuck yeah!
And I was like,
and Jennifer Gardner's
okay.
Elektra, that was like, oh, fuck yeah!
Yeah, I kind of caught the. I knew.
I knew she was in it.
I knew. What's his name? Chris. Captain
Evans?
America's voice. I knew his voice initially. So, and then I saw the red and blue, and obviously you're like, okay, it's Captain America. And then I was like, oh, he's going to say the words. And then I'm like, I know it's going to happen now.
Yeah,
and Flame on.
Yeah, it is.
I get it.
Predictable. Almost every time.
Sure, yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. But those were ones that I really felt like it was just everything's a joke.
Yeah, the movie
was
takes
joke.
absolutely nothing at all seriously.
And maybe that's like lighting up the ass of Deadpool fans, but my favorite parts of this, what I even said, especially the second movie, is that it has a heart to it. It has a real heart to it.
100%.
Yeah.
And I thought
it
the first one,
is.
and they managed to do that on some thin layers. And I've bought that for the first two movies, especially even with the fucking ridiculous role of Marina
Baccarin or
who
Baccarin?
I hope she gets just a great
Vanessa,
paycheck for what she's
the
doing.
girlfriend.
She'll always be a Nara to me, but
I understand.
go back to our coverage of the Firefly.
Yeah, go back to the Firefly stuff we did.
Actually, maybe you don't ever listen
during lockdown.
Where you guys talk about how was that Joss Whedon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
You
Joss
talk
Whedon.
about how he's the genius and the best guy, and he
we
will never
did
do
for
anything
a
wrong.
bunch of episodes. We also then, I think, in the midst of it, talked about at some.
Oh,
point.
did that happen like in the middle of you guys doing that?
Did it?
It's possible.
Wait, what?
Did
Lockdown?
No, Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon.
Did Joss
that
Whedon
was pre-stuff. Because we did the Firefly stuff during the summer of 2020.
So it had already come out.
Yeah. The podcast were out before the Joss Whedon stuff. Because we covered the Joss Whedon stuff as it came out. We were.
It was pretty close though, because remember we were covering what's his face talking about it.
We were.
And remember we were.
We had the worst take of all time. Yeah, I remember that.
Where I was like, who was this guy?
Ray Fisher. Yeah.
Ray Fisher. Yeah, we started talking about that with.
But Ray Fisher got the last laugh because Ray Fisher got to be in Rebel Moon
and the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Oh.
Although someone said that if they were casting a black X-Men, and who did they cast him as? It was great.
I have no idea.
But you got to look up casting the black X-Men, which I would watch the fuck out of. And then it was really interesting to cast the black characters because I think you had to cast the idea was that you would cast them white. This is a fun game we can't play. Anyway, because it's all about anyway. Everyone should Google that and tell them the TB&J podcast sent you.
Yeah, or don't. It's up to you. I was just reading through the reception so far, the general public consensus on Deadpool and Wolverine, and some publications are allegedly saying the film is divisive with hardcore fans on both sides of the argument, but most are saying that it's positive reviews and it's making insane amounts of money. Which I expected.
Days of it, it's 100% doing that. Everybody literally planned to see this movie. It was hyped up. People wanted to see it.
All the reviews from critics and stuff, the big time critics are out because they got early viewings.
I do think this is the first. To Dee's point, I think this is the first movie I've ever been in where literally every single audience member waited for the after credits.
Yeah.
I didn't see a single person get up.
There were indeed hardcore fans. I mean, we're going to a 6:00 show on Thursday.
Yeah,
these are definitely people that had work today, couldn't stay up late last night.
That said, when I walked in,
this is
saw
one of the first shows they could probably get to. So
Yeah.
there's definitely some diehards there. I think it was full. It was a
It
small
was full.
theater.
It was a
We're
full
a
theater.
small reservation only theater, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So like, but whatever.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
They
funny,
sold a lot of Wolverine popcorn buckets today.
funny story. I didn't even get to sit with my friends. I had to go sit away from everybody else.
How would you have done that?
Huh? Sit with my friend. I was assuming you guys would have. I would have gotten
were
the
they
seat
in
next
another
to.
theater?
No,
Yeah, I was going to say, Troy, you're assuming some stuff
No,
here.
I was
What do
gonna
you-
get the seats next to
How would you sit
guys?
next to
well,
your friends though?
Well, I didn't sit next to you guys because you're Jeff, your wife.
You're not our
just-
friend. That's the point.
It's-
That's the joke, buddy.
Oh,
You work here.
Yeah.
okay.
We're colleagues.
So,
I need someone to sit in a seat and be on a microphone. That's it. Thank you, Troy, for your service.
Okay.
We are now accepting applications for new co-hosts.
Wait a minute, but like for a fourth member?
Well, you want to be our friend, right?
This movie did obviously have a lot of problems. I still enjoyed the ride. I mean,
because you like liking things.
I like liking things.
Listen,
I don't
like
like hating
liking
things.
too. To be fair, I like liking things too. I had more fun in Ant-Man. I had more fun in the Ant-Man 3. Like this
Because
wasn't
that movie took itself seriously. It tried. This movie didn't. I don't feel like.
okay.
I didn't
don't
see
know
Ant-Man
how.
3,
I
so
just
I
don't
don't
know
know.
how a lot of people like. I look like so. Troy,
Yes.
I understand, Jeffrey. Are you on the same page at that point? To be like, you're gonna buy this movie. You like this movie.
I'm not going to. No.
It feels like a thumbs down.
I mean, yeah, you've made your opinion very clear.
I
I still enjoyed it. I'm still going to buy it when it comes out. I don't give a shit. I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it is like a fun.
DVD. You could download it.
No, I'm going to buy the Blu-ray.
Wow.
Because physical media is the way to go, because at any point they can revoke your digital license if they want
That's
to.
dope. I like that. Listen, there's somebody with some stuff. I'm gonna need you to get better stuff though.
I mean,
or just consume it all. Yeah.
I mean, I do a podcast where I review TVs and movies. God forbid I purchase movies and TV shows and own them on DVD and Blu-ray. But like, no, I just this movie's not gonna win like an Oscar. Jesus, I'm gonna cut that out.
That's what I felt about that.
This movie's not gonna win any Oscars or anything for writing or acting or anything like that. But like, it was fun. I enjoyed watching
that's
Wolverine
actually
kill people to
I-
Backstreet Boys.
Oh man.
Did you hate that?
That was okay. So they start the movie with the bone sequence. Right?
Logan's
Which
adamantium
is a nice
skeleton.
little joke that they're going into. They said they weren't gonna desecrate it, change the ending, which they don't really.
Not really.
They don't change the ending at all. But they do literally piss on, like more or less, and he as he uses their boats, and that's how they do the opening credit sequence, which I thought was fine. Right, is a fine setup. The execution was, I felt, very poor. On
Yeah.
like starting.
I don't
there.
disagree at all.
Starting there, we go back and watch the opening sequences to the last two Deadpool movies, and then compare it to this one.
No, I thought
I
about
think
that
it's
as it was
actually
happening.
fundamentally poor. Like there are just sequences where it just cuts to Ryan dancing,
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
costume, and like it's flat. Like it's not well edited in comparison to that. Like I just like fun. Like the whole movie to me felt that way, and I think if you watch all three like back to back, you will see a stark difference. And I like.
I don't disagree with that.
Levy, the guy
Sean
who
Levy,
Sean
yeah.
Levy. I have liked his Stranger Things stuff. I liked his movie. We all went to see not Ready to Play One. The normal guy, blue shirt guy,
Free guy.
Free guy. That
Free
was a
Guy.
Sean Levy movie.
and I really liked that. I enjoyed that
I
thoroughly, surprisingly.
I feel like I'm probably on the same level of Free Guy as that, but I might like Free Guy less than you.
Maybe, yeah.
You might, which is
you guys
fine.
are bigger gamers, to be fair.
Sure. And I didn't dislike Free Guy, but I guess I mean if pound for pound I'd probably go Free Guy over this, but it just felt like that.
Which I think says a lot.
Sure.
Like there might be a way, but like is there a likely way that the Free Guy is made anything close to this?
Oh,
I think Free Guy made a lot, didn't it?
Free Guy did make quite a bit of money, but like obviously we won't know this movie until like the end of August, probably.
Do you have like an opening
Oh,
day or something?
I can find that. Oh,
As you're looking for that, what I do have an actual positive, and again, all of my positives are just little positives.
Free Guy debuted. I'm so sorry. Free Guy debuted to 28.4 million at the box office.
Okay, sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. It came out August 11th, so 2021. So it was a summer movie. I mean, that's not like terrific, I guess, if you're like trying to be a summer blockbuster, but like that's not terrible either. In total, it made about $330-ish million. So people got paid. People made money on this movie for sure. I don't know if by Hollywood books it turned a profit, but it definitely it made money.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna make money. Like,
Sure.
there was no doubt about that.
This movie will also make a shitload of money.
With the reviews that it's currently getting, it'll continue to make money throughout. It has to get pretty. I mean, if you see a big drop off, maybe, but like.
I mean, just look around us in the movie theater. Like every third seat had like one of the Wolverine popcorn buckets, or like the one of the dead Deadpool skull.
We were at the.
We were at AMC.
We were one of the first showings of the movie.
Yeah.
I'm only saying that because like it opens Wednesday night at midnight, right? And then there's what on a Thursday. What time did the show start? At 10 a.m.
Well, no, it opens today, Thursday, because it comes out tomorrow. So yesterday was early access.
Sometimes they'll do but you
it
can
opened
get
last
tickets.
night. There was a midnight show, right? So if there was tickets today,
was there
at 6, then there was a midnight show.
Yeah, well, no, he's right, and midnight shows are sort of at this point like 7:30.
It's just anyway. There was a show before us, but I'm saying that like even if you didn't do the midnight show, and you're a diehard Deadpool fan, which these guys I think were that went to this movie. Everyone wore a Deadpool shirt first of all.
I'm wearing a Deadpool shirt right now, but it's
fine.
because it's the only one that I own, and it was bought by an ex. So.
I
Strangely,
don't actually own any comic book
It
shirts.
is a black shirt.
Yes.
Almost every Deadpool shirt I saw was white.
Interesting.
A white Deadpool shirt. Anyway, beside the point. It was the first movie like after work hours, so like this is very likely this is people. You know, there's one of the first movies you could see if you didn't stay up to go to midnight to see the midnight show.
How did you feel with the way that you feel about it right now? How did you feel when half of the people, mostly on your side of the theater, started clapping at the end of this?
That I thought
was a little
just Jeff.
No, it was not.
No,
I thought that was just Jeff.
I
thought that was Jeff starting it, and then a couple people like also agreeing. It wasn't a natural one. It was like more of like
it absolutely was
they had
not
a first mover of Jeff being ridiculously overhyped for it, and then Chuck goes, "Yeah, oh yeah, my horrible taste is appreciated." I didn't think there was that. Maybe I'm wrong.
I heard it pretty. So I was not sitting next to you guys, like I said, and I did hear a pretty. I thought that there was about to be a full theater clap, but it kind of stopped halfway.
I think that if anything. Was that not given because of the montage?
Maybe.
That's very possible.
I feel like the montage maybe pulled some of that out, which again felt heartless.
I don't know if I agree with that.
That was a cheesy montage. I have seen better. Like, go watch a Spider-Man movie and watch the end credits sequences, like the mid sequences, and just watch how fun it is.
Mm-hmm.
And the animation and the shit they're doing. They put a square box up and showed some shots that honestly, the female said it an AI could have put together. There was no heart in that montage. It was almost gross. I understand what she was saying about kind of it making you want to sell your possessions. It's you're just holy shit, it's just to take the money that I earn. Like,
So,
it's emptiness to fill a void that I could probably fill for free somewhere else.
I'm so sorry. Just to clarify real quick, there was a press event on the 22nd, which would have been Monday for this movie, but it has not been shown in America until today. It debuted in Korea, Italy, Germany, France yesterday, but
wrong.
Spain, Brazil, UK, Mexico, Australia, US today.
And what do they think of the Americans?
I have no idea. I don't know why America is also last on that list with China. But apparently the first time you could see it outside of press or
It's like
special
the
invites
reverse of
was
money.
today.
Huh.
Yeah, I also was thinking that D was right, but it started nagging at me, so I did some digging. No, there was a press event in New York.
You thought to yourself that D might be right, and you went, no, that can't be.
Yeah, I was like, nah, there's no way.
You
he's
were
right.
in denial. You were sweating. I saw it.
Yeah.
Can you cut back to the last episode where you said, I should listen to D more?
I should do that. I'm not gonna.
Can you
do
cut
that.
back to that right now, though? Can you splice it in when you edit?
I could, but I'm also trying to get this out before midnight, so I'm running out of time.
Ooh, okay.
So that's not gonna happen. I appreciate
okay,
the effort,
can
though.
you-
You can
can
pretend
you-
I did it.
Let's cut back to. Oh, yeah, guys.
I should listen to D more.
See, he said it right there. That's actual record. That's actual
Yeah,
record.
that was the recording.
Troy, do you have any closing thoughts on this movie before we wrap up?
Not really. I do agree that I probably won't think about this movie in a year. It was a thing. Like I said, it's
I
worse
might
than the
think
other
about
two.
this movie forever, just in the fact of
How disappointed you were?
Can you turn that pen holster towards yourself?
Capitalism is the bad guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
That is as empty of a belief that you have as anything.
No,
Just 100%. You don't believe that whatsoever.
I do completely, actually.
But then you can't. This is kind of that in its worst case. Then is all I'm saying.
No human
about-
being is perfect. I still believe capitalism is the bad guy.
True.
I have free will. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
No, you don't.
Yes, I
No,
do.
you don't have free will.
Okay.
That's dumb.
I know you don't believe that. That's why I
What
brought
if,
it up.
what if just Jeff does? Hold on. What if just Jeff does?
I'm like the one guy. It's like
Yeah.
the invention of lying movie. It's like I'm Ricky
Love
Gervais.
that.
I'm the only one who
I
can
would
lie.
love that. That'd be my favorite.
Yeah.
That would
yeah.
It'd be a better world.
The movie is trying very hard. It seems to one-up itself in its previous iterations with a lot of the gore, a lot of the violence, a lot of the fourth wall breaks, the jokes, the cameos, even the CGI. And I enjoyed a lot of it, honestly. I really did. But, it's not the best Marvel movie ever made. It's not even particularly the best Deadpool movie ever made. But I still enjoyed watching Wolverine
There's
Deadpool.
no Marvel relevance whatsoever.
Oh, there's no
There's no
relevance whatsoever.
continuation of anything. This is just a pure.
Allegedly, though,
movie.
he is officially in the MCU now after this movie.
But he won't.
I mean,
I don't think
there's
he
no way we're going to see him on screen.
I don't
with the
even really
Avengers.
know how Deadpool got in, except for I guess jumping over to the time, with the time variance characters.
Yeah, that's it. It's just the TVA.
Isn't really in that universe.
No. It's all fucking weird. Who knows? But that's it for the movie. I think that does it. I don't want to talk about this movie anymore. I'm tired. It's been a long
No
day.
one does.
We are doing Borderlands in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's going to be worse than this, I think.
It's going to be way worse, but we know it's going to be worse.
Because D's probably not going to be here.
Absolutely not. But
That's-
John,
that's what we're saying.
John will be here, and John is probably the one guy I know who loves Borderlands more than anyone else in the world.
Interesting. And we have a pretty big Borderlands group.
We do. But that man fucking
not
loves
Chris.
Borderlands. Definitely not Chris. I've invited him, and he flat out said no. He said, I will not be doing that. Chris fucking hates those
Chris
games.
is almost...
Definitely not Chris should be the name of the podcast.
Oh,
That's a good
yeah.
idea. That way you can get rid of me.
So Borderlands is coming at you soon. We might do some other things between now and then. There's a new Batman show that comes out next week that I want to try to make Troy
Okay.
watch.
I won't. I don't mind it.
We'll
The
see what
Penguin.
happens.
The Penguin.
The Penguin comes out soon on Max.
Wait, what Batman show?
There's a new animated show dropping on Amazon Prime on August 1st.
That's right. I
think it's called The Caped Crusader.
It's
like
is
early
this the
Batman.
animated series.
Yeah.
It's the Bruce Timm thing. It looked amazing.
It looks pretty darn good. All right, that's it. That's the end of the show. That's it. I applaud the... breaking news from John Fitzwater, world's #1 Deadpool fan. He just finished watching it in IMAX, and he said it was perfect. If they don't like it, it's because they are choosing not to intentionally, or just because they didn't like the other ones. I'm not letting you respond. That's the end of the episode.